Season 2, Episode 4 of Arknights, Perish in Frost, Touin Fuyukomori Kaerimichi. 50%. That's how much we have covered when it comes to Season 2. Only 4 more episodes remain. Will this be crazier than Episode 2? Will it be better than Episode 3? Last time wasn't bad, but as many would say, it might be the weakest episode thus far. It was certainly the slowest, but is that truly terrible? No, because it was very character heavy. It focused on Chen, Hoshiguma, their relationship, the walls Chen builds up around herself, the feelings she ignores, the interesting history she has with Tallulah, at the very least, the very brief glimpse we got of it last time, and the confirmation that made me so smug. Still riding that high weeks later. Yeah, admittedly, this is a bit delayed. I do apologize. I won't bore you with excuses. Taxes, IRL obligations, overall very stressed personal life. But right now, bills are paid. The slate is clear. No major obligations to pull me away and distract me for the foreseeable future. So, shall we hop into Arknights Season 2, Episode 4? After we check over the notes, y'all thought I would forget? After all of the effort I put into making these notes? It's tradition at this point. Only 4 episodes in now, but it's a tradition, it's a routine, it's a habit. I would be remiss if I forgot to mention how many pages of notes that I managed to add since episode 3. Alright, I added 5.5 pages of notes, so there is 63.5 total. Overall, if there's anything I want to mention from episode 3, I will. Lady S's introduction, Swire, Sora Tokui is her VA, the friend rivalry with Chen is absolute peak. It's very entertaining. I love characters like this. I love dynamics like this, where they have each other's backs, but they also shit-talk each other constantly. They'll one-up each other. They'll attempt to not necessarily demean, but put them down in a friendly enough manner that it's not seen as overly rude or cruel. I have relationships like that in my personal life with my friends. We'll shit-talk each other. We'll call each other all sorts of very, very bad words that YouTube wouldn't appreciate, but I would also have their back in an instant, no doubt about it. And Spire is definitely not just a stereotypical rich girl. She has way more depth, if I could speak, English is hard, than you would give her credit for. And I can't wait to spend more time with her and learn her official title. Let's see, yeah. Chen using her responsibilities to reaffirm and justify abandoning Amiya and Rhodes Island in the ruins. The fact that Chen was able to tank a grenade was very impressive, but she is sturdy. They made sure to mention that. Rest in peace, Fall. XR02, his code name. The hint, or I guess confirmation, that Chief Wei is behind the responsibilities for Chen that made them pull back. Is it part of their contract? Does she have secret orders? Or is there something else? Because he is very likely the most valuable person right now in Lungmen, so he's obviously going to be a target for the reunion. But is there more? How is he related to Tallulah? What significance outside of his position, his political weight, his power in Lungmen? Why is he so important? What's the deal with him? Plus, he is just very cool, and I can't wait to see more of him. Is he in the Lungmen HQ building? We're going to find out. The whole, Fal being infected, he was an informant for Chen, like a brother to Hoshiguma, and seeing Hoshiguma, you could feel the fragility of her when this character's been so tough for so long. Seeing her essentially quietly break down, that was rough. That was painful. Even my sick ass could feel it. And speaking of illness, not even bronchitis could keep this weeb down. I've returned, y'all. It ain't easy to kill me, unfortunately. Don't worry about that comment. Let's see. It's been about a year since Fall was infected. He had his eyes burned. His intel was giving him a code, a location, coordinates for their target. It was Tallulah's target, or one of her targets, which was actually the family home, or one of Chen's homes, that belongs to her father, who she doesn't have the best of relationship. No father of mine, a man like him is no father. I'm very curious about what she studied abroad in Victoria. I mean, I love the decor of the house. And plus, I was right. I called it. The photo of Chen and Tallulah with the cut between the rift. I wonder if Tallulah visited there maybe to return half of the photo because it looked like it was torn in half. But maybe that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to return it to say she's home, perhaps? Or maybe signal something to Chen? I don't know. Maybe there was something else there that I'm missing or they haven't revealed yet, and that's why it was marked by Tallulah outside of perhaps personal memories and history with it. The whole revolution, Hoshi might have joined Rhodes Island if she knew Fall was infected so she could get him treated. It's actually a very cool possibility, a what if to think about. And then, the self-awareness about Lungman's treatment of the infected. Is change even possible? I like that Chen, our hard-ass with a heart of gold, sweetheart rather, used her authority to guarantee his citizenship, making him informant, even though it was a very dangerous job. Yep, took out the squads, rip piano. I love the broadcast of her resolve, even if it did probably put a target on their back and make the reunion be a bit more on guard. But you gotta love moments like that. And then, yeah, they gotta recapture the LGD building, the HQ building. I'm assuming, since we haven't seen any of the commanders in all of the fighting from episode 3, we're gonna have one or more in this HQ building. Are they holding Wei hostage? Where is Wei? What's going on? Is there a third objective we don't know about just yet? I did like the Friends atmosphere vibe between Hoshiguma and Chen, the siesta mention. I want swimsuit Chen and Hoshiguma. I am down bad. Obviously, gotta reaffirm that Hoshiguma is jacked! 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 Yeah. With Hoshi's arm injured, will she have been healed in quick enough succession to turn around and help out with this operation, or is Hoshiguma out of the operation right now to take back this HQ building? Because if so, we've lost a lot of muscle power, y'all. And that does not bode well for fighting some of these reunion commanders. And I really do like that Chen came to the realization that she needs to accept her feelings more often and act on them. And the whole one mistake is plenty, the whole I'm actually regretting leaving Amiya and Doctor behind in the reunions, and how she's a bit more soft, is how I would put it, with Hoshiguma, now that she's come to accept that about herself. The character development, the growth of Chen has just been superb, and I really love to see it. Let's see. Life is precious, Swire's advice, yep. Now, I have some extra information that was brought up in my community, across YouTube, Patreon. Can't exactly tell you who wrote what, because it has been a hot minute since I wrote this down, but yeah, Swire is a filthy rich tiger girl with a special unknown rank. I wonder if she is as rich or richer than Jessica, because we all know Jessica is a rich girl as well. Hoshiguma and Fowl, they were former thugs with a shady past. They committed robberies, murder. They were recruited by Chen into the LGD, their true calling, which is very, very cool, but it does add on to the fact that Fall called her boss. They had a hideout. She definitely has that air of, I'm used to street fighting. She's very brutish in a way, but even that feels a bit insulting to call her, because she is a very beautiful woman, but do not cross her in an alleyway. She will kick your ass into the wall. Coral Coast, which was one of the brands, sells swimwear. Marth sells custom tailored outfits, which is really cool. When Hoshiguma was protecting Chen and holding up the rubble, it was 3 stories worth of rubble, which is very, very heavy if you do not know that. So yeah, she is jacked. She has been lifting. That is weight goal. The lack of Swire, as I mentioned last time in Season 1, was not actually budget-related. Someone clarified that. One of my favorite terms someone referred to Hoshiguma was the absolute sugar muffin. Oh my god, I love that. Babysitter Frostleaf on Rhodes Island. Someone did actually request I watch K's Daily Doodles. It's a mini series. I believe I've seen it pop up on my feed once or twice, and I might have debated it near when season 1 of Arknights ended, but it wasn't exactly a high priority. Do y'all want it to happen? I've been told it's fluffy, cute, a slice of life. Should I watch it maybe after season 2, or should I wait on it? Chen's estate scene actually omitted her whole reminiscing about her father, oddly enough. I wonder why. I would actually like to have a VA to her father, or even a glimpse at what her father looks like. Is he alive? Based on the wording from last time, I would assume so, but I want to know more. So I wonder if maybe they'll add that back in, or if I'll need to seek it out on my own time. And then Misha and Alex's bodies are not likely buried. The burials are expensive, mainly upper class, usually dangerous due to oropathy. Cremation is more likely, or leaving bodies in the wasteland, still valuable assets. They are potential reunion targets. It could be one of the reasons why they wanted the LGD building. Maybe they're stored there because they're very high-profile individuals, so it would make sense they need to protect their remains until they disintegrate into dust and then have someone clean them up afterwards. Maybe the reunion truly want their bodies. It would be a good martyr cause. Who knows? And I do not know what Episode 4, Episode 12 overall, what its title will be. But with that, I've mentioned everything I want to from the notes, so I will leave that right there unless I need to pull it out, in case there's any new characters, countries, or anything I need to cross-reference. Y'all know the drill. If you want the full version, it'll be over on my Patreon, link down below, amidst my social media platforms. Follow me on them, help me grow my community. Every bit helps, guys. Truly makes a difference. Make sure you have a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell become notified when I upload next. And in 3, 2, 1. Wait. Oh, that's Mephisto, so is he in the LGD building? Well, that confirms it. Is Tallulah here? Are we gonna have a Chen versus Tallulah? Faust is here. That is 2 commanders. What preparations did you make? Tallulah versus Chen to throw her off her game, maybe? Or is Tallulah working on something else? I can't wait to see Mephisto fight. I love the nighttime, but it also makes it a lot more anxious, because people could be hiding around every corner. And who knows who else we're going to encounter here. Like, there's W, Crown Slayer. Did they rig the whole building with explosions, maybe? In an attempt to bury him alive? And take him out of the picture? Or do they have something else? Are these going to be the infected soldiers from the ending song? Is that going to be the surprise or the measures that Mephisto concocted to deal with Chen and everyone else from the LGD? I was right. It is the infected, like, zombie reunion, perhaps. Are these actual, like, corpses? Are they marionettes? Yep, I was right. The way they're moving. Are they gonna grow, like, Originium spires? He's looking into the camera! Oh my god, that is so cheeky! I love it. I love Kohei and his performance as Mephisto. I'm more wary about what Faust will be doing. But granted, we also haven't seen what Mephisto is truly capable of with his arts. He's made mist, and that's really about it. Is this more of, like, his ability? Maybe controlling them and putting a fog on their brain? Their consciousness? It wouldn't surprise me if he was like a puppeteer. But I also want to learn more about his staff. Is it a real skull? A rooftop battle's gonna be crazy, y'all. One of them's gonna get thrown off the edge. But this definitely feels anime. We got no music, so this isn't gonna be the final battle. I don't trust a word you say, Mephisto. Yep, like zombies. He's gonna marionette them. That was a peak Mephisto face. It is zombies! Reunion zombies! Originium zombies! Art zombies! whatever you want to call them. Oh my god. Will this lead to Chen getting infected? Or is there a condition you have to fulfill? Well, we're only operating with one named character. We need someone else to pull up. Is Spire gonna join in? Fucking Mephisto. Oh. So he's constantly regenerating him with his arts. Her cut was glowing or healing. What was that? Was it resonating with him, perhaps? Also, something I thought of recently. He calls Tallulah Nason, not Sama or just even straight Tallulah. How are they connected? Did she liberate him from some messed up scenario? Same with Faust. He looks up to her like family. He treats her like family. He refers to her as family. What is the deal with that? Is it like some sort of messed up family? Because it doesn't appear like Faust and Mephisto are from Lungmen. He is a Liberi, she is a Draco. And Faust is a... Oh, I had it written down. I know he's a lizard. He's a Pythia, a snake, sorry. But... what's going on between Tallulah and Mephisto? Because it's not the normal dynamic where it's like subordinates. He's doing her bidding, but he's definitely more carefree about it. Maybe she's giving him some allowance because he is a child, or at least younger than everyone else, it appears like. But it also is very hard to judge based on appearances alone. So I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, I don't think Chen would ever... Xi Xiao, unsheath! Is it a sentient sword? Art sword, a magic sword? Is there like a fire demon inside of it? But do as I command. So it has a will of its own. But very interesting. And yeah, no way Chen would ever switch sides, based on what we know. A helicopter! Is this Swire? That's Rhode Island! I know that logo. Is that Kelsit? Is she helping them out? No, they actually made it out of the ruins! Or the ruins. It's very hard to say. She's in the opening! New character! We're literally we're parachuting. Where are we dropping, boys? I believe in the opening she's using like her blood as arts. Amiya's arts are interfering. They came to back you up because they're allies. That's all she could say. That was intense. Spire said she would take care of things on her end, so Chen could take care of things on her end. Last time, was she referring to maybe going to pick up Amiya and the doctor, rescue them from the abandoned city, the ruins, and flip the situation on its head, give her a nice surprise, and reduce the amount of regret that Chen is feeling, like a true friend, like a true bro? Because if so, that is big brain plays. I didn't even consider that. I thought Chen might actually go and save Amiya or go pick them up. No. No. If this is the case, if what I'm speculating is right, mad respect to Swire, to Lady S. I was right! Now you owe her 2 favors. You didn't expect them to escape Frost Nova. I like Blaze. Her design is so cool. She's wielding a chainsaw! Chainsaw versus zombies. It is so movie reference that it hurts. Broke some of the bottoms of the mouth. Now they're actually more terrifying and more zombie-like. Oh, you got it out a little bit further. So it's a conditional weapon. I am the bone of my sword. Is this like her ultimate move? She just fucking Excalibured them. And that was animated really, really well. So they were a bit conscious of that. But just straight up disintegrated them. That was animated really well. I love the use of colors. Holy shit, Mephisto is actually shook, and it's not a facade. Tolula's gonna show up or something. We can't capture these commanders right now. Faust took a blow from Mephisto. How is that going to affect Mephisto? It's very weird seeing Faust like Mephisto like this. He's like regressing in age, or at least mental state. Is this a trauma point, maybe? But this also hammers home more about the special treatment he gives Faust. His bond with Faust is his most notable shining point of interest, his POI, when it comes to Mephisto. I like the faces, I like the VA, I like the demented nature, but this is definitely an area that's interested me since his introduction. I don't think they rigged the whole building, but I was at least right. They're paragliding out? Not the smoothest running animation right there. Not to nitpick too deeply, but it did not blend well with the background. I've seen good and bad. This is good at running animation. Where she was running into the background, though, that was a bit more notable. Were you testing them? What is your endgame, Wei the Cunning? I like her design. I almost don't trust you. Yeah. I almost don't trust you as much as I trust Mephisto. The cunning are usually the most dangerous. Oh my god! Hearing the doctor say that. Yeah. Not allies, but not enemies. Somewhere in the middle. You gotta take from each other as much as you can get. Handle this like professionals. Man, those barbed words. The politics, though, man. I really want to see his face get, like, super shocked. Like, something happened way outside of his expectations. Kind of like how Mephisto was. I'm on top of the world singing. Sorry, that's exactly where my brain went. So Chen got a special wartime promotion? All the time we can afford. What else are you planning? Or is it you realize how much of a threat the reunion's actually posing right now with Tolula around? Or is there a catastrophe coming? Is she just his secretary, or do they actually have a relationship? Oh, so there must have been like a war, either secret or public, with Ursus. Poor Tao. Are they talking about Chen's father? Duke of Kalshi. Did he go to Ursus, maybe? Or was there an internal, like, civil war struggle? And this is Chen's house? Yeah, he's dead. Salvation. Killed by Tallulah herself. So Tallulah killed Chen's father. And if they are sisters, did they have different moms or different dads? But if it's different moms, then that would also mean she killed her father. And is it adoptive or biological, whatever? What a bombshell to drop with the very last sentence of the episode. Like, no. Sure, it's not that important or anything. Not a way to set the mood or the vibe when you go into the ending song of all things, huh? What the fuck, Arknights? What the fuck? So, before anything else, I think we're gonna go to my anime list and check out the VA for Blaze and Fumizuki, because we got 2 new characters. So, I'll see you there. Fumizuki Wei. She has his surname. So are they actually in a relationship? Not just his secretary? Is she like his wife? Noriko Hidaka. But yeah, Fumizuki Wei. She shares the same surname. So are they in a relationship, or is it like a clan system perhaps, where if he approves of you, you get his surname, or maybe she's a daughter? I can't tell their ages. I gotta be honest. Episode 4, Salvation, Miketsu, aired October 28th, 2023. It is April 24th, 2024. Yeah. That's almost 6 months later. I am Speed. Ka-chow! Oh god, even I felt that cringe. Alright, I think we're done with my anime list, so let's head back. Overall, what did I think about Season 2, Episode 4 of Arknights, Perish Frost, Fuyukomori, Kaerimichi, Touin, Kiro? This might come out wrong, but do not misunderstand. Other than interest with Mephisto, the introduction of Blaze, the introduction of Fumizuki, all of the political intrigue, the machinations behind the scenes, and the concept of Originium or arts zombies plus Chen's Chi Zhao or Chao. It is not my first language. Do forgive me if I am butchering it. Crimson Overflowing, and how well animated that was. This might actually be an episode I have a whole lot of issues with. Not narratively, but when you come off of episodes 1, 2, and 3, this feels like it has the most issues. Mainly pacing-wise. I couldn't get into the full groove. My enjoyment was there. My interest was there. There's usually never a moment in Arknights where I'm not interested or invested in the characters, the world, the lore, the developments, the plot twist. But it might have just been the overall pacing, the speed of the episode, where it felt like it was dragging in several spots, but going too fast in other. Or maybe the atmosphere they were going for, it felt almost a little too forced. The drama was there, but it's like they really, really tried to force you to believe that Chen might actually die here. 4 episodes in to season 2. Chen has had more screen time than Ace. Chen has had more screen time than Nisha. Chen has had more screen time than Skullshatterer. Against someone like Mephisto, in a place like this, in a setting like this, against zombies and Faust, invisible snipers, it's very, very hard to convince me that Chen would realistically bite the dust. Seriously injured? I could see it. We know Faust is trouble. We know he could pack some serious firepower. But Chen right now is way too important for someone like Mephisto or Faust to truly take her out. I mean, we just established how sturdy she is last time. She tanked a grenade and mostly just walked it off. No fractures, no internal bleeding. So maybe it was them trying to force that feeling that it's helpless, that Chen's gonna die, ooh, that it got under my skin a little. I am cynical by nature. I tend to not look on the bright side. I've wanted to change that about myself, and I tend to speak positively about shows I cover because even in my life, I have way too much negativity sometimes, and I want to make that change. I want to make a difference. Too much negativity is a bad thing, so I try not to critique, but it hurts to say this. This might be the most problematic episode I have of Arknights in general, even including season 1. I can rewatch season 1 just fine. I can rewatch the previous 3 episodes just fine. Some folks, especially anime onlys, might have called last time the weakest episode or the worst episode when you compare it to everything else that's been going on. But that actually might take the cake with this episode. It feels like it needed more time and maybe a better direction for it to go. I don't know if this is a feeling that was in the game as well. I also don't know if we're still in Chapter 4, Chapter 5, or if we're heading into Chapter 6 now. But it just didn't mesh well. It didn't vibe well, personally. And it takes a lot for me to want to critique this, because I just want to gush praise. And as I've already mentioned, there's several areas I could, but it almost takes me out of the experience. And I really hate that. I want it to be the best it possibly can be. Is this one of the episodes that I was informed of prior that there was going to be issues with, that there had been adaptation and pacing issues? Alright. Let's just push that aside until it's relevant again. So we had the intersection of the two perspectives again, because in episode 1, it was one perspective, and then we sort of split off. It was Rhodes Island, and then Longman. And then it kind of continued like that. I was fully expecting this to be another full episode of Longman, and then maybe we switch back to Rhodes Island, or even full intersect in episode 5. But it almost feels, I wouldn't say rushed or too quick, but surprising, perhaps, that we have an intersection so soon. We know Frost Nova is still hunting them, but is she still dealing with the recoil from using her song, using her arts? How did they get away? Well, I mean, we know they actually got away because we saw it in episode 2, but how did they fully escape the ruins? Or did Frost Nova actually back off long enough to maybe set up her trap, set up a confrontation for future episodes, and maybe make it more advantageous to herself again? Is she planning something else? Because she's not going to back off just like that. And we know Patriot is heading back to Chernobog. W is out there somewhere. Crown Slayer's out there somewhere. Tallulah's out there somewhere. We have eyes on Mephisto and Faust who have fled. But I would have almost preferred another episode of only the Lungmen side. Maybe introducing some new characters that typically frequent Lungmen. Instead of Dr. Blaze, Amiya writing in, which I might have to actually add in an edit of the Rise of the Valkyries, just the helicopter coming through. That is actually a bit funny when I'm visualizing it. Who knows, I'm lazy, but I digress, neither here nor there. It almost feels more Deus Ex Machina, even though it's not really that big of a save. I mean, it did help Chen steady her resolve and unleash more power from the sword. Does it have its own will? Is it sentient? What's the contract with it? The cost and whatnot? Again, very beautifully animated. Crimson overflowing. I'm going to need to rewatch that a few times. It was straight up, I am the bone of my sword. Excalibur! I'm crossing references. I don't care. I've not seen Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. I've only seen Fate Zero and played a majority of Fate Grand Order. Neither here nor there. I think I might have preferred Chen solving this issue on her own, or having someone just purely from Lungmen helping her, like Spire coming in to fight side by side with her. That'd be a great dynamic. But it was admittedly very satisfying seeing the facade crumble away with Mephisto, see how his plan fell apart and it shook him to his core, and then he almost regressed mentally to a younger age, and how Faust had to wear the pants, had to wear the big boy shoes, and take control of the situation and evac them. Is it a trauma point, like I mentioned? What's going on with their backstories? It's very, very interesting. It only adds to the intrigue with their relationship, their history, and what makes these characters tick. I really like their dynamic, and I want to know more. I don't trust Wei. I don't trust Mephisto, but Wei right now is a better option. He's at least more inclined towards good, even if it's not the best possible scenario. But he's definitely scheming. He's definitely making moves, using them as bait, and we still don't know the second condition to the contract. And now he wants them to finish it up in one day. Is a catastrophe coming? Is there something else going on? Why the 1 day deadline? I'm very, very curious about that. Do you see his shadow in Little Tall? So even Fumizuki knows about Tall. Probably met her personally as well. I can't wait to get flashbacks or more confirmation or more just little tidbits. Tallulah killed him. And if it is like their shared father, if they had different moms, and it wasn't like different dads, same mom, when did she kill him? How did she kill him? What were the circumstances behind it? Did it cause a rift between her and Chen? Was it self-defense? Was it entirely retaliatory? Was it unjustified? Who knows? But even with how Chen has been talking about him, he is no father of mine, not a man like him. It really hammers home not the greatest of impressions, not the greatest mental illness image, rather, when it comes to this man. I want to learn more about him and see maybe what he looks like, if we'll even get that, considering they cut out some reminiscing dialogue in episode 3 with Chen and her father. I will say the Originium zombies are pretty cool, or the art zombies, whatever their official title is. Very creepy, not the creepiest I've ever seen in any anime or animated medium ever. I've seen zombies done way, way better. But the use of the CGI to make their movements feel more foreign, to feel more alien-esque, to feel more creepy, that is a nice touch. it just kind of felt with this whole episode a bit all over the place. It felt like they tried too hard in certain areas and didn't try enough in others. They might have cut some corners. Maybe they wanted to really move the story along. But even with that sentiment, it really did feel like this episode dragged a little bit versus how last time really didn't feel like it was dragging, even though it was notably much slower than episode 2. I digress. What did y'all think? I don't think there's much else I want to actually talk about when it comes to this episode. Actually, I wonder if there will come a point where Chen makes a stand against Wei, perhaps. She wants to stand as her own individual and go against his orders. That'd be interesting. Her mind is elsewhere. She's very distracted, and I wonder what the full conditions are to fully unsheath that sword. Will we see it this season? What does its full design look like? It's one hell of a trump card, I'll give you that. Man, that whole sequence of seeing it actually fire off and the use of the colors and the animation, that was very nice. Still not episode 2 levels of insane animation, peak animation, but it was cinema. It was Kino. I was very happy with what they cooked. I just want it to be better. Again, do not take my critiques as the end-all be-all. It's my opinion in the moment. Maybe it'll change with the passage of time, with hindsight, with a revisit. But it definitely feels like this might be the weakest episode of Season 2, if not all of Arknights. It just struggled. It was a struggle for me and a struggle for the episode. I don't know. It also could just be, as this is my first video in a while, maybe I'm off my groove. We'll see. Again, what did y'all think of my reaction, my commentary, the episode itself? Don't spoil anything, don't confirm any theories, but if you want to clarify anything that I might be off base about, I'll do my best to potentially read those comments. Not all of them are worth reading, or at the very least, safe to read for an anime only as myself. Are my thoughts and opinions justified, or am I off base? Are you angry that I'm shit-talking, or are you thinking my criticisms are valid? What do you think about people who actually mention the negatives, mention the critiques, the issues, versus people who entirely sugarcoat it? I've been known to do that here and there. Sometimes I just prefer not to talk about the flaws, or I'll mention them for maybe a minute and then talk for like 15 straight about the positives. But I prefer speaking positively over speaking negatively, because it can set the mood, it can set the atmosphere for a whole video, and it can get very, very tiring to hear someone bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch. YouTube won't like that. I use that word way too much, but I don't care. It needs to be stated. I digress. If you want the full version, over on my Patreon, link down below, amidst my social media platforms. Follow me on them, help me grow my community. Every bit helps, guys. Y'all know the drill. Make sure you have a like, subscribe, hit that bell notified when I upload next, because, come on, we all know YouTube doesn't do its job. And with that said, I'll see you all in another video. Very likely, Season 2, Episode 5 of Arknights, Fuyukomori Kaerimichi, Perish in Frost, Touin Kiro. See y'all. Peace.